Hi, I'm Barbara, and tonight I've had some trouble with my uploading stuff, so this may not come out for a while. But anyway, I wanted to talk about Jesus. No notes for this one. So, have you been considered the problem in situations? Have you been scapegoated? Have you been the black sheep? Are you the one who's been smeared, maligned, gossiped about a little bit or majorly, where it totally was an attempt to destroy your life? I'm coming back from the dead on one of those situations, and if you're one of those people, I'd like to suggest, not religiously, but historically, to look at Jesus. Jesus may have been the greatest problem on this planet. Potentially the greatest problem in the entire cosmos. He came as a messenger to tell us that God, his Father, our Father, is very real. And more so than that, he came to tell us that God is the only power. So in telling us that God is the one and only power was to go against everything that the people around him that were in positions of authority, in positions of power, he aggravated the hell out of them. He pushed and triggered every one of those arrogant, egotistical, holier than thou human beings who thought that they were above the being, the consciousness that created them and created everything. So he pretty much came to just kind of cut them at the knees and say, no, 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 no. My Father in heaven, in high consciousness, in high vibration, puts you to shame. You are nothing. Now, he didn't say it like that. Jesus came with a love, a pure love of God, with grace and mercy. He brought I don't want to say the law, he brought grace. His mission was to do away with the Mosaic law, an eye for an eye, a tooth for a tooth, and to bring into us the opportunity to forgive ourselves for any past transgressions in every single lifetime, to align with him, to align with the truth of the message that he brought forward, so that we could forgive ourselves, that we could have a do-over, we could start over, we could rebirth ourselves. So Jesus was probably the greatest rebel in history. So if you know that you know that you know that you are a rebel, that you don't go with the program, that you don't align with the matrix, that you don't align with these people in power in all these situations that we're watching now, you are aligning with the greatest rebel in history so far. I mean, there's others behind him, but so far, he's the only one who's come and got destroyed for his message. The fact that he was destroyed and crucified is the degree to which we can see how out of balance humanity is, how out of their loving they are, how separated they are from who they really are, the divine image of God, made in the likeness and image of God. So Jesus is at the head. He's at the head of the table, saying, you're not all that, people. My Father in heaven has this whole thing under control in a way that you can't even begin to see. And yet, the Matrix is still running the show on the planet. So I hate the word savior. I just can't stand these certain words. But he brought a message that even though the Pharisees exist, even though the politicians exist, even though the billionaires persist at their specialness, even though this goes on in our little intimate communities, he gives us the opportunity in his message to line up with his consciousness, his Father's consciousness. He is pretty much telling us, not pretty much, he is telling us, I can lift you out of the matrix while you're in the matrix. What is the scripture? You're in the world, but you're not of it. And how many of us feel alienated, not even alienated, how many of us feel like aliens on this planet? If you feel like an alien on this planet, you are aligned with the truth. You know something is not right. So we get the opportunity, to the degree that we're courageous enough, to line up with the truth inside us, which is loving, which is joy, which is compassion, which is forgiveness of ourselves. I never talk about forgiving others for a reason we'll discuss another time, but to forgive ourselves for all our errors. I'm not calling them sin. I think that's a word that people threw into the Bible. So if you look at Jesus as a rebel who is so ahead of his time, how many of you know that you're ahead of your time? That you know that the people around you are moving slow. They're thinking slow. They're responding slow. That you have all these wonderful ideas, and there's people who have no vision. There's people who cannot even create. I'm thinking of people in my life. Well, I will talk about it. Churches. A lot of these pastors have no vision. They steal the visions of their congregants. They steal the energy of their congregants. They're so out of alignment with Jesus. They teach about Jesus. They preach about Jesus. They say Christ is at the head of their church. But behind the scenes, they are slitting people's throats, metaphorically at the very least. So, my final reel for tonight is Jesus was, is, will always be the rebel that we turn to affirm ourselves is, yes, I don't belong here. This is not my home. I belong with my Father. I belong right here in the spiritual heart, where it's loving, where it's peaceful, where it's calm, where it's joyful, where there's respect, there's camaraderie, there's cooperation. This would be living in the spiritual heart. Anything other than this is out of alignment with the Holy Spirit, out of alignment with Jesus, out of alignment with God. It's out of alignment with creation. It's out of alignment with the universes. It's out of alignment with the sun. You can go on and on. It's just out of alignment with nature, with creation. So if you are feeling like an alien on this planet, be happy, be joyful, celebrate the fact that you are not buying into this illusion and matrix that we're being fed every day. And we need to pray for the people who feel like they belong, that they think everything's copacetic, everything's cool, everything's fine. What are you talking about, Barbara? Why can't you get with the program, Barbara? Why can't you follow the rules, Barbara? I don't follow rules when I feel they're wrong. Now, of course, I don't want to end up in jail. So, but inside myself, my own self-talk, which is what is the most important thing, is I'll say to myself, this is wrong. This is not right. Sometimes I'll fight. Sometimes I'll go to court. Sometimes I'll write a letter, a journal, and my other creativity. I just got distracted. Something else just came in. Jesus could not live on this planet much longer. He was so far ahead. He was so far ahead, he could not have survived this level. It would have tore him to shreds, mentally and emotionally. No matter how much he knew he was God, as long as he was on the planet and had to deal with everyday practicalities, knowing full well that it was all not real, would have tortured him. And yet there are historical, I don't know if you want to call them studies, and I know that a lot of you don't want to hear this, but there is information that Jesus did leave. He was crucified, but did survive it and stayed on the planet for a while. And I'll irk you even more by telling you there's also evidence that Mary Magdalene, the supposed prostitute who was incredibly intelligent, came from a wealthy family, she taught him, she guided him, that they were partners. And I'll irk you even further than that. There is, I don't know if there's proof on this one, but that they had a baby. And her name was Sophia. And I'll go even further. What was the name of the book? Oh my God, a red cover. If you really want to get a little bit of a taste of this, and if you really want to get irritated, if you think that what I'm saying is blasphemous, read the Da Vinci Code. And there was a movie too. I don't know if the movie was called the Da Vinci Code, but the essence of the lineage of Mary Magdalene and their daughter Sophia. I'm challenging you to look into that. So, but the original thought I wanted to convey is Jesus was not a follower. He was not a follower. Most people on the planet are followers. Most people on the planet are slaves. Most people on the planet are prisoners. And those of us who pop up, pop our heads out of the masses, out of mediocrity, we're the ones who get hit down for not conforming and not following. Excuse me. Followers do not promote evolution. Slaves do not promote evolution. People in prison in their heads do not promote evolution. Who promotes growth and evolution and change? It's always the rebels. And many times, more often than not, they get killed, assassinated, crucified, which would be the worst. At the very least, they will be mocked and humiliated and maligned in their character, in the communities, and separated out. So, if you feel like a stranger in a strange land, you are right in line with Jesus. It's what he came to say, that this is not your home, that this is your home. This kingdom that lives inside you is your home. That the God, the guide, the presence, the universes upon universes upon universes. In the Bible, it say worlds upon worlds upon worlds, all lives in us. And if you take it even further, and this would take someone else to speak on this, is it's all in every single cell. That every single cell carries this code. Every single cell. Separate them out and they each have the same code. Furthermore, and I'm not the best to speak on this, it's in our DNA. It's in that spiral. It's in the DNA spiral. Now, this is not at all where my specialty is, but I've dabbled enough to be familiar with it and know what they're talking about. So, to bottom line it for tonight, I get really, really serious, is Jesus is our model to not be followers, to not cower to any authority or patriarchy or political system. And I do want to qualify it in that it takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of going through a lot of darkness, being laid out flat, losing everything, to really go in there and grind yourself, like what do they call that thing? Where you grind a vitamin. I can't think of what it's called. To grind yourself while you're in the dark night of the soul, while you're in your hell. If you really work that hell, work the hell until you're held out, you will come up shining and know that you are one. It's not even one with God. You are God. You are God in a human body, just like Jesus. You're not the big God. You're not the whole big God. You're not the whole ocean. You are an individuation. You are an individual little God in the big, big God. So what I wanted to just support you in is, don't let people gaslight you into thinking something is wrong with you because you're different. Most people that are ahead of time, ahead of the schedule, are gifted, creative. They're just ahead of everybody else. In fact, when you are in a situation where you're overqualified or ahead of people, it is so frustrating. It just is such a dead weight. It's like a rubber band on your back that's pulling you that way while you're trying to go this way. And you just can't stretch it until you find people of like minds, like vibrations, and who know the same thing that you know. And as long as we're all scattered about, we're lonely. It's like, where are our people? Where's our tribe? Where are the people that are rebels like me? Where are there people who are not into ego, into greed, into being special, into destroying individuals in their midst because they can't handle that they're big, they're bright, and they are emanating God all over the place? That irritates so many people. I'm coming to the conclusion as I'm doing these podcasts and as I'm really thinking about everything I say and thinking about the people I know. And now maybe it's just I've been in the wrong places and I had lessons to learn. But I think the majority of people, how should I say this? I think the majority of people are jealous and envious of their neighbors and want what they have, but are not willing to do the work. And those of us who've been through hell and to hell, back and forth, regular visits to hell, have done the work. And it's annoying as hell to have people look at us, to look at me and be annoyed that that I'm moving forward, as much as they try to keep me back. And the only thing I would say to them is go visit hell like I did, and you will find out what's there. You will work it, you will alchemize it, you will transmute it, and you will come out doing similar things. It's like, what did Jesus say? You shall do as I, and greater. So everyone on the planet right now is on schedule to do greater than Jesus did. Let me say that again. Everybody on the planet right now is on schedule to do as Jesus did and more. It's always been on the schedule since he gave that message. And 2,000 years ago? How many people are doing what he did and even more? There are people popping up, and many of them are hiding because the price to pay is being crucified. If not on a cross, in their own little communities. So that was a little preachy. But again, I started out speaking to women and being in power and claiming their feminine energy and restoring the matriarch to planet Earth. And it just seems that I'm being shown to share more than I expected to be sharing. So again, I am a work in progress. I have so much healing to do. I was thrown under the bus by a community, undid everything that I worked for. And I don't know if it's possible I'll ever get it all back. From my health, to my appearance, to my possessions. I don't know. I believe in the impossible. I believe in miracles, and I'm going for those miracles. But can I really get my youth back? Can I get the 15 years back that I lost because of these people? I don't know. But it is my goal. It's my intent. And after what I've been through, there's no way I am going back to following anybody who is not going where I'm going. I would love to be with a group of people that are going where I believe I need to go. I would be a great follower. I'm loyal. I love people. I'd prefer that someone take the baton and go forward and let me follow. But I'm not following anyone who is going, sideways, upside down, totally not in the vibration that I earned. And that's another thing, is those of us who've been to hell and back over and over and over again, we have earned our stripes. We've earned our stripes. And I'm talking to some people that I have in my mind right now, and if you ever see this, I earned this position on this podcast. No one put me here but me and God. And if you have a problem with it, then go to where I've been, which was a horror, and let me see you come through it. And let's see how well you fare in the shithole over and over and over. Let's see how well you fare when an entire community comes against you because of gossip. And you know my story. I can go on and on and on. So that's my rant for the night. The message being, did I leave anything out? I did write a little. Oh, yeah, I wrote down that Jesus came to tell us all who's running the show. It's not us. It's not the politicians. It's not your preachers. It's not your rabbis. It's not your parents. It's not your spouse. It's not your children. God is running the show. Not us. No human being is running this show. Even Jesus, looked to his Father. He did say, I and the Father are one. That was another message to us, for me to claim that I, Barbara, am one with the Father. Everything he said was for us to copy and claim for ourselves. So, I'm done for the night. And be well, everybody. And did I say the date is May 4th? It's really May 5th. It's very late. But I'll see you soon. For some reason, these things are not uploading. I don't know why, but at least I'm making them. And I am lining up more and more with my purpose. And the more I do these, the more clarity I get about what it is I'm supposed to be doing. So any of you who are watching, who see this, just thank you. Thank you for listening. And I have no place for comments yet or anything, so I have no idea what's going on out there, other than my analytics say people are listening. And I don't even know what that means. So anyway, good night. God bless you. And I will see you soon. Bye-bye.